All right, let's try this again. Round two. This is our copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Let's see how this stream goes. Round two. Here we go. We're gonna give this a shot again. Yeah, the waters got really choppy on the last stream, and we got capsized. Yeah, that was a bummer. And things were just heating up, but it was cool. We got about an hour or so in, but we are back for another round. Hopefully, you are as well. It happens, right? It's part of streaming. What's up, girl? How you doing, Ohio Grassman? 420. Love that handle. And Chiro Sounds. What's up, Chi? Chiro sound. Whoa. I wonder why I'm getting the feedback now. Got to figure that out. Sorry. I probably blew some eardrums out. Juliana McGill, what is up? I love I woke up. I went to sleep early last night, but I woke up early, weird hours. And then I seen you had gone live, so I missed it, but then I checked it out after somewhat. I was like in between sleep and everything, but I shared it out and I was like, oh, super cool. I got to hang out inside the barn a bit. Hopefully you do more of those streams as I'm trying to activate my camera. It turns off every so often. It just does its own thing. I did drop it earlier. 360 got dropped earlier. I guess we don't need it active. See, now it's active. Whatever. Bim Jim, what's Bim Jim saying? Bigfoots are good friends with the ET aliens, in his opinion. What up, Roger? Diesel, how you doing, brother? Hopefully you're healing up. Hopefully you're doing all right, bro. Not sure if you got that business taken care of, but we're keeping you in mind, sending you healing vibes, especially if you need them now. But whenever you need them, brother. Let's see. So earlier we're getting into the Mexican Bigfoot, and it covers Central America because there's other countries, and we'll get into that hopefully in a bit here. Let's see. I wanted to also don't forget what's going on tonight. There's some celestial activities going on. Sure, there always is, but everyone's talking about is it the blood moon. So don't forget if you're into stargazing and all that fun stuff. sky watching. Let's see, space.com here says a total lunar eclipse will turn the full moon blood red for over 3 billion people tonight. And it's keeping the theme of the threes there. And what's up with that? With that bell in there with the exclamation mark. And I don't know, it makes me think of almost like people talk about the moon being hollow. Looks like someone flicked it and pinged it. The bell rang in there. Is it made of cheese? Is that what the moon sounds like? So yeah, tonight's blood moon will be at least until New Year's Eve 2028. So what will be the last until New Year's Eve 2028, 2029? So catch it if you can. Y'all gonna catch it? Some we're talking, the numbers because it's tomorrow's 3-3, right? So I was hearing something about at 3:33. Some people were mentioning 3 o'clock might be the best time to check it out. Maybe in some areas. I guess it depends where you're at. But for the number heads, just a heads up. Who knows what might be happening? I mean, we already got all types of stuff popping off all over the world. But yeah, who knows what else might be happening on 3-3 at 3:33. What up, Hillbilly Herb? Cheers, brother. I'm sure you got something nice for us. Please share. Yeah, I got ready right before this too, but I also got it handy, and I know I could, if I do need a break, it's not far, but I'm good to go, bro. Cheers to you. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, anyone checking this out? Anyone gonna get some footage? We should be able to see it here, although they've been spraying heavily. We talked about that earlier. And yeah, I might get out there and take a peek. Blood moon, Hillbilly says blood moon eclipse at 6 a.m. my time. All right. Let's see. Wouldn't be surprised if another big offensive is launched during the, yeah, right? Good gosh. Yeah, I can't, it's still kind of crazy to think that all that's going down, man. No, thank you. But stuff like that's been going down, and here we are. Thank goodness we could hang out here for a bit. For the most part, a safe chat, a safe stream, unless we capsize again. Watch out. And don't forget. See, are we working? Yes. All right, cool. We got a little effects working on the camera here. So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out for that moon, and I'm sure the cold, the yeah, maybe all sorts of different type. I'm not gonna box a bunch of people into one box. No, no, no. All types of different people will be taking advantage, I'm sure, of the celestial happenings, and some won't. Big ups, man. Yeah, man. Big ups, bro. We are safe in Bigfoot. Bigfoot Door Sanctuary. Yeah. Uh-oh, we got Richard up in here. We're the sirens. Going to watch moon eclipse. Who? I don't know. I wonder, someone would probably be streaming it. There's probably people streaming the moon right now. I know there's some channels that do that. And yeah, we could get back right into where we left off, where we capsized that earlier. Yeah, there was an article we're reading from, I believe it's the Mazatlan post. We'll check it out. But I believe this is where we kind of left off. It was an encounter being shared of a young girl. There we are. That had gone camping with her family, and they were surrounded by, I guess it sounded like a couple of them, these hairy creatures, and they started throwing objects. They got in the car, the truck took off, but one of them went after them and tried hanging on, and he got smoked by pops. And then another one came, and I think they described one of them at least as a reddish brown color. Yeah, it was pretty intense. And then all of a sudden, we were knocked off the waves. But yeah, we could kick it off here because let's see, this is the ending of that account here, and I think we had gotten through the most of it. But we'll pick it up at this particular part because it involves this particular area of Mexico that we've touched on before, but more on the UFO tip, and it looks like it brings that up here. So let's check this out. Y'all kick back. Hillbillies on deck, so don't worry. It's going around. Yeah, so even more recent still is a report from the very active Popocatepec. And that's a tough one to say, believe me. And that's not, I forget what language that is, but it's definitely it's a native language. So those are very tough to pronounce at times and even tougher to spell. But I remember learning how to pronounce it. So I do believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's not like Parangarigu Tiribiquaro. Uh huh. Try that one. That's in Mexico also. So Popocatepec, volcano of central Mexico, which stands at 17,802 feet high and is the second highest peak in the country. Wow. The volcano already has plenty of weirdness surrounding it. Yes. Yeah, that's how I know it for its high strangeness, as UFOs have long been sighted here, sometimes even entering or leaving the volcano's mouth. Wow. Where the volcano emojis at with some UFOs. Chi. Yeah, we've heard that before from different places having volcanoes of them going straight in there. It's like how could they, withstand the heat? It's amazing to think, right? But they must be charging up and using the volcanoes as seems like I would say portals. Oh no. Yeah, they were talking portals on Jessica's this morning, and it's been quite the topic everywhere, it seems like. Yeah. Yeah, brother. Yeah, I'm with it too, but I'm not saying everything's a portal. I don't think I mean it's possible I've seen one. There's different types of portals too. Uh Portal potty. Chiro sounds throwing up the pink poopy emoji. Uh-oh. Uh but yeah, different types of portals. Also mining portals, right? That's what they call like the entrances to mining shafts and stuff like that, right? Is it the portal? What up, Rid Shot? Lick a shot for Rid Shot. Boom. And then we did get a couple chases earlier. None of them broadcasted. Well, we got a few hours left tonight. I see Smoke and Scan is on as well, broadcasting the war. And who else I've been watching for that is actually, who is it? Steve from, I forget, is it? Yeah, he's like a news anchor, big time on YouTube. Y'all know Steve. All right, back to See, now I can't say it. Popocatepec. Y'all got to practice that one. That's your, put that in the notes, and I'll be doing tests later on y'all on your pronunciation of these places. So it has So as UFOs have long been sighted here, sometimes even entering and leaving the volcano's mouth, and now the area can add sightings of Bigfoot. Whoa. Which is not surprising because it almost reminds me of like a Mount Shasta or something, Mount Shasta volcano as well. And it would be interesting to see if maybe, I know the Cascades, and at a certain point, the Cascade Range, but I wonder if it still aligns with the Cascade Range, those volcanoes. I don't know. We'd have to take a look at a map. Uh, yeah. So Bigfoot being seen at Popocatepec, or at least something very similar. In 2015, a mountain climber named Guillermo Vidales claimed that his mountain rescue team, interesting, had sighted thin brown, there's the brown color, bipedal creatures measuring over 8 feet in height, climbing about on the side of the volcano at high altitudes up to 13,000 feet. Fascinating. Popocatepec volcano. The creatures reportedly left behind large footprints that featured odd holes penetrating into the ground from the heel, suggesting claws of some sort. Maybe Bigfoot hadn't gotten a manicure or pedicure yet. I wonder if that's a good name for a nail salon. Bigfoot pedicure. This would certainly explain the purported climbing prowess they supposedly displayed, with Vidales saying, once we saw one of these individuals climb up the glacier in 10 minutes, a stretch that we linger about 3-4 hours to go. They have amazing agility. Wow, that's crazy. And we've heard of stuff like that, them covering a lot of ground, different terrains. This is interesting. There were even photographs of the creatures taken. Damn, where are those photos? But they all predictably rather unclear and indistinct. Yeah, sounds like Bigfoot footage. If they are real, then they picked a bad place to go frolicking about on on the volcano, as it went on to have several eruptions at around the same time. Interesting. What comes to mind is the Mount St. Helens, right? Eruption, where supposedly some Bigfoots were dead ones were taken off the mountain there. How do you all feel about that one? I've questioned that one. I would have thought the Bigfoots being so in tune with nature that they would be able to, get the heads up. Maybe they'd warn all the other wildlife ahead of time, or maybe just turn into orbs, right? Turn into orbs and get down the mountain. But who knows? Let's see here. So, volcanoes about to erupt. Maybe these guys are about to flee. Although Mexico seems to produce far fewer reports of Sasquatch like creatures than the United States and Canada. And I would question that too. Maybe people haven't maybe they've been describing it as something else. Or maybe they're just keeping it even lower key than people do in the States. Certain parts of the States, people are very hush hush about it, right? Maybe the Mexicans are as well. And that's why I want to go and dig around, start off with like family members and then make my way around. But yeah, I think there's more to come out of it. Maybe there's like, a gold mine of reports out there. We'll have to tap in. So yeah, anyone with any Mexican Bigfoot like creature reports from your uncle, your auntie, your granny, great great granny, grandpas. Yeah, we want to hear them. There is nevertheless a long history of such accounts from here, and they are every bit as bizarre as anywhere else. They also pose some interesting questions in relations to if they are real, where exactly they came from, and how related they are to their more northern dwelling brethren. Yeah, brethren. I brethren from the north. Rasquatch. Are they a separate species or merely a different population of the same one? If they are related, then what does this tell us of the spread of these creatures across the continent? Yeah, it could be that they're just running all up and down who knows, maybe all of South America. We talk about the T trail, which takes you from the top of Mexico to Canada, and a lot of missing people on that trail. A lot of people hike that. I hear it takes 6 months or more, you know, easy means of travel for anything. And there is reports, people have covered that. I think Matt Moneymaker from the BFRO has talked about that. PCT, Bigfoot relations to that trail. And they say one of the gnarliest parts of that trail is here in Southern California. Yeah, several people have gone missing, have perished on this particular part of it down here. You would think that it would be maybe way up north where it snows heavy and everything, but out here you have the desert, and it's something about, I forget the name of the area. I got to remember that. We'll bring it up eventually, but you got to be careful in that particular part because that seems like it's like a gauntlet. Got to be careful. Let's see here. So, as they are separate species or merely a different population of the same one, if they are related, okay. Are they even real at all or the product of hoaxes and misidentification? That's always a question. Whatever the case may be, I think at this point they're real, right? Oh, man. Get a grip, folks. Yeah, well, Harryman Road YouTube channel did a video that Bigfoot's in the files. Oof. Yeah, check out his channel. Whatever the case may be, the tales of the Mexican Bigfoot certainly add to the lore. So that was a good one. I like this. So sourcemysteriousuniverse.org, and this is by the Mazatlan Post. Check it out if you'd like. And yeah, there's some other stuff. So they're call it the Sisimite or Sisimete or Sisimite, should I say. Yeah, I'm having trouble with this one too. You never know. But I see they've spelled it so many different ways. So there's probably a bunch of different pronunciations depending on where you're at. There we go. Sorry, it took me a little second to pull up that page for you. Here we are. So this is the next, and we've pulled up several pages from this particular site, this fandom. They had some cool ones that I like them. They were pretty interesting. We've brought them up in the past. So right here they have something on the Sisimito. And this one we had pulled up on the Bigfoot mapping project. There was a dot in Belize. We read two reports, or there was two dots in Mexico, actually three. We didn't read that long ass report. There was one that was really long. Maybe we'll get back into it. Who knows? But I did point out the one in Belize, the country of Belize. Actually, I think Jim Goodall's on Spaced Out Radio tonight. And he's done investigation. He's gone down to Belize. He's talked about his investigations down there. And Mr. Goodall, I would love to partake in some jet fuel with you, sir. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he's about it. Maybe we could Carol, we should have a Goodall on during some high speed chases. That would be good. Yes, sir. All right. So in Belizean and Honduras, so in Honduras también. So also in Honduras, which is interesting. Folklore, the Sisimito, alternatively called Sisimite, you see, or Sisimite, Sisimita, also. Sucara. I like that. That's interesting. Itacayo is another one. Is a bipedal, upright, gorilla like creature that possesses a head much like a human with long hair or fur covering its body. It is also referred to as the Mexican Bigfoot. Sí, el squacho mexicano. Wow. Yeah. So it is also known in the neighboring countries of Guatemala and Nicaragua. See, all over Central America. But Bigfoot with no borders, baby. Got to put a sombrero on him and some really big alligator boots. See, description Sisimite is believed to resemble a humanoid creature with black or dark brown fur, described as larger than an average person. It is said to have four fingers. See, there it goes, describing the four fingers again. Said that earlier. And I don't know if the report of that girl, she described the hand looking like very human, but yet like a gorilla, leathery, and hair on top of it. Appreciate the like over on X, Roger. Yeah, I wonder if people check us out on X or Rumble. Who knows? But if so, what up? We appreciate y'all. And yeah, so we had a stream earlier in case anyone wanted to check out part one. This is part two, round two, fight. Damn it. Dwarf went down on the first round, but he's back up on his feet. Here we go. Appreciate y'all hanging out. And Hillbilly Herb says, I need another box of papers. Not sure whether to get another box of Gizeh Black or try something different. Seeing deals on Pure Hemp and OCB. Yeah, we carry OCB Pure Hemp. I don't know if we carry, might have some Pure Hemp. But yeah, no, check out, shop around, man. Definitely. And if I have any links, I will definitely let you know. But I don't know how they do it. I know it gets a little sketchy once it goes international with certain products and all that, right? So we'll make sure to dot our I's, cross our T's. Yeah, this is interesting. So four fingers, and we talked earlier about the six-fingered giants and different descriptions of tracks, Bigfoot-like tracks. Some having three toes or four, odd. And those, people have brought up possible inbreeding and stuff like that, or maybe it's a completely other creature. Who knows? Maybe they vary from region to region. I did want to bring up right quick. Also, I've talked about one time running into right here in the downtown in downtown LA. There's an area we call the alleys, the callejones, where people, you go find sorts of stuff there. People go shopping there all the time. And one time, I ran into one of the Mexican wolf boys there, and I want to say it's these famous brothers from Mexico, and one of them has or two both of them. What am I saying? And I don't know if they're twins or not, but they're called the Mexican wolf boys because they have hypertrichosis. So that means hair all over the face, all over the body, and I believe I don't know if one or both, and because I remember seeing them on TV way back in the day, and this time I caught one of them. So I don't know if it's one of the brothers or a completely other person. Uh, and he was there, in the middle of the alleys doing his thing. And yeah, they also have, I believe, what is it? Elephantiasis. I used to say elephantitis. Elephantiasis, I believe it's pronounced, of the feet. And I remember they had like special sandals, I think, because their feet were almost like a hand shape too. And where I've seen that hand shape to the feet, because I mean, most Bigfoot tracks seem to have like very human like, right? But different. There's some differences, I think. A lot of similarities, but a lot of differences. Uh, and again, maybe they vary from the varieties. I believe there's varieties, right? There's a Yeti. I think there's a skunk ape variety, Pac West variety. Some say that the rigger out here, and maybe the more north you go, the bigger they get. Very possible. I don't know. I'd like to know. One day, maybe we'll go out and explore the world and find out these things. But for now, we're here sitting behind the computer. But anyway, yeah, let's get back to it. Where are we? Four fingers. And on each hand, and no thumbs, which I thought was weird too. This one doesn't have thumbs, supposedly. Maybe their thumbs are tucked in. I like that the artist description here. I've seen other Bigfoots supposedly like cupping their hands like that. Supposedly the Patterson footage, it cups its hands at some point, according to some folks. Maybe they couldn't see the thumb, but who knows? So it also mentions no thumb, ape-like facial features, and backward-facing feet with no knees. Yeah, I saw a drawing of something like that earlier too. I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" Maybe Bigfoot could switch his feet backwards too and walk backwards like that. Maybe that's something new that people haven't been reporting that they're capable of doing. Bigfoot does weird stuff. Its name differs between ethnic groups. For example, the Garifuna, and I'm very familiar with the Garifuna. Shout out to the Garifunas out there in Belize and Honduras. Where else they got Garifunas at? Call it Sismidu. Interesting. So another name for it there. There's like, man, there's been so many. I'm gonna have to catch up with all these different terms for these creatures here. Sismidu. The name has no true English translation, and it is believed to have come from the Nawa word tzitzimil. Honduras. According to Honduran legends, it is believed that the Sisimite or Sisimite targets and kidnaps human women. Hello, that should be ringing bells. Where's our bell at? Damn it. It's believed that when a woman falls in love with a Sisimite, and we've heard of that as well. Like, what's going on, women? Some of us ain't cutting it no more. Y'all need a real wild man. We ain't wild enough for you. What is going on? Or Bigfoot's just the Mac Daddy of the Mac Daddies. Player. He got it like that. He got game. Ah, the Sisimite will claim her as his own. Yeah. And she will never be seen again. Peace out. The Honduran explorer and historian Jesus Aguilar or Aguilar Paz, 1895, 19 through 1974, said that the Sisimite or Sisimite lives in the highest part of the Honduran mountains, more specifically in the inaccessible caverns found there. Aguilar also explains that the Sisimite feeds on wild berries. Hello. Mm-hmm. Love me some berries. Berry pie. Oh yeah. From the mountains, of course, mountain grown stuff. You don't want that conventional sprayed fruit. And that is not a carnivorous being. So he's vegetarian out this way, which is good to know. So carnivorous, not a carnivorous being or a hunter. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, well, probably gets all his food brought to him. However, it usually goes down to the village to kidnap women, to take them to their cave. The union of a Sisimite and a human is believed to produce ape men. Hmm. Putting that in the notes. And that kind of, brings up the whole thing with some may think the fallen angel theory, the Nephilim theory, perhaps. So in Belize, in Belizean legend, the Sisimite on humans. So go across go across the border a bit and they will eat you. Furthermore, in Belizean societies, the belief is if you are a man and you look at him in the eyes and escaped, you will die within a month. Oh my goodness. That's interesting. That's also noteworthy, folks. A lot of I won't even bring it up right now, but I will put that in my notes. If you are a woman and you look at him in the eyes and escaped, your life will be prolonged. There you go. That is really interesting and bizarre. Let me jump in the chat right quick. How y'all doing? Yeah, Rastafari says hillbilly. Roxanne, what's up, Roxanne? Look at that. Roxanne needs a shield there. She's look who her look at her avatar. I know she has a sword. I have friends, says Richard, with 6 toes. Interesting. And that happens. I've seen a guy, there's a guy by the shop at the 7-Eleven there. He has two thumbs. So I would say 6 fingers. I forget where he's I want to say Sri Lankan. I'm not sure. But cool guy. I keep it cool with him. But I'm like, I wonder about your genetics. Let's see. So tales of the Sisimite were told in the camps by the mahogany cutters of earlier days and are still passed along in villages like Ranchito and Hillbank. The Sismite is said to live in high forest areas and lives in caves and on rocky land. In the Toledo district, the forest areas have decreased over the years because of agricultural, or decreased, I would say, over the years because of agricultural development. And the Quechua believe that Sutaka, I would say, Su- Sutaka, yep, I guess so. The thunder deities who protects them from wild animals has pulled the Sisimite back into the few densely jungled areas remaining. So he is rarely seen today. Wow. The Sisimite diet is believed to consist of raw meat and fruits. And when feasting on human beings, oh gosh, he doesn't call it a pizza, but he will tear the body into several pieces before devouring it. Though fierce and malevolent towards humans, he is afraid of water and dogs and will avoid them at all costs. So give the Sismite a shower if you run into trouble. Squirt him with a super soaker. That might come in handy. And make sure you have your Poochie with you. That might help. The Sismite is believed to often assume human form in order to lure people out of villages with the purpose of killing them. What? Run that one more game, man. The Sismite is believed to often assume uh-huh, human form in order to lure people out of villages with the purpose of killing them. Because of this, he is sometimes confused with Extabay or Eshtabay or La Llorona. What? That is interesting. So I don't know who Eshtabay or Extabay is, but La Llorona for sure. That's another one. We were talking on the first stream earlier about El Cucuy, which is the equivalent to the Boogeyman, I believe. I'm sure most would. And that's just one that we all know of. You know, you could probably talk about that from here to the bottom of Argentina. And they said, I think I'll pull it up right now. I have some information on El Cucuy that I don't think I read earlier, but I think it's also in so Spanish and Portuguese culture. So I would imagine maybe in Brazil, O Cucuy, maybe they have a different word or name for it. We'll check that out in a bit. But La Llorona is known as the woman in white who weeps usually around rivers, along rivers, and she's crying for her children that supposedly drowned. And I'm sure the story is more. There's more to the story, but basically, as kids, you know, you tell stories and people share what they know at the time, and so the story gets all mixed up. But it's interesting to check out what the internet says these days. And yeah, no, it's definitely a thing. And I know a lot of women that are scared. You bring that up and they will freak out. And a lot of people that have had experiences with them hearing those cries. And we've questioned also that could La Llorona, because, you know, they describe it as a woman in a white dress, very ghostly like, floats around and stuff and cries. And but we were wondering, yeah, maybe some of those cries that they're describing could be like female Bigfoot calls, you know? Now that we're finding out there is squatches in these Spanish and Portuguese speaking places, And we did, what was the last one? We touched in Venezuela and got into some stuff there, which also led us to the little hairy creatures. And I think we're going to get back into that here. This is going to lead us into some of that. And we finally got Mazatlan out of him. What happened, Richard? Dr. Melba says all related. Richard, I'm reading off some comments here off the monitor. And I'll jump back in the chat in a minute. Hopefully, y'all are finding this interesting here. So let's see. I think we were almost finished here. So raw meats, we're reading about the diet, finished with La Llorona. On Sundays and religious holidays such as Good Friday, the Sisimite is believed to prey on hunters and other people who stray into the bushes. He follows human footprints with its main purpose of being either to kill its victims or to rip off their thumbs. Huh. The Sismite is also believed to attack men who are killing animals needlessly or destroying the forest. Put that in the notes. And we heard that recently. We brought it up, I think, on the first stream also about pissing Bigfoot off because of logging and all that other stuff, destroying certain things. We brought up even military bases. Are they doing stuff there to piss off Bigfoot? And so that here you have it. So they get pissed off at certain things. And also, who was it? I think there was a stream. We might be going back to Stacy Brown's stream yesterday. I think he had a guest on, and it was a great conversation. I recommend it. I shared it in the posts. And he had a call in, and this guy, they got to talking for a bit. They were mentioning about the Patterson film and stuff that I talked about earlier, and I recommend you checking that out as well. Can't wait till he comes out with what he's going to come out with. And I'm all open. If the Patterson film is fake, then boom, they got us. But I do feel that film is what changed things for me. Like when I seen it as a kid, I was just like, whoa. I had a feeling that these things were out there. And I remember that was the first time I heard the term Sasquatch. Mom was like, "That's a Sasquatch." I was like, "How the hell does she know?" uh, yeah. So that film, no matter what, is what gave me the bug. I think, and I'm still fascinated, even if it is a hoax. I think it helped a lot of people get into this topic. So it did its thing. But yeah, no, I would love to learn the rest of the story. There's puzzle pieces missing, and it'd be a great one to put together. So, and I know there's been others like the Tall Ones YouTube channel. Brent Dill has been working on getting more proof of that. That it went down. So, yeah, props to everyone doing their thing, and I'm excited to see all sides of it. I still check out MK Davis and his breakdowns of stuff, and yeah, fascinating piece of footage there. That's still a mystery. So again, so that was a cryptid wiki that pulled up on fandom. And let's see, we got something else here also related to the Sismite. This is pretty cool. So encyclopedia, excuse me, of cryptozoology, and it says the Sisimite or Sisimite, other names. Look at all those other names. I can't even pronounce them. Chichimeque, Chichimicli, Chichinte, Itacayo, Licuec, Ketcux or Ketcuch, Sikimichi or Sikimisi, Siguanaba, Siripi, Sisimiti, Sisimito, Swin, Swinta, Misumalpan, Susumete, Utkur, Witzir. Wow. And country reported Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, and Nicaragua. The Sisimite Nawa diviner is a cryptid primate reported from montane forests across Central America and Mexico, usually described as an ape like creature which kills men and kidnaps women. And look, this is an Olmec carving of a gorilla, which may represent the Sisimite. So, wow, we got to go back and dig into the Olmecs again. And let me tell you, I've seen some brothers out here. Yeah, some melanated brothers. Probably speak Spanish too, with some big old Olmec heads. I'm like, bro, you got to be Olmec, bro. That big old head. Enough respect. And sometimes I'll joke with my brother, be like, shut up with your big old Olmec head. Oh, Sisimite comes from the Nawa word for diviner. Swinta is mosquito for spirit of the mountains. And Uktur Wistir is Mayan for guardian hill spirit. And that's etymology there. We're into that. So this one, description, the Sisimite or Sisimite, yeah, is described as a being larger than a man and rather like a gorilla in build, with either darkish or long, stiff black hair that stretches to the ground, and a human head with big eyes, but only 4 fingers and no thumb. Like many other mythical creatures of South and Central America, the Sisimite toes, specifically its big ones, are said to be turned backwards. The Sisimite is nocturnal and walks on 2 legs, but runs on all fours. It is notable for the length of its strides. It eats crabs and snails and lives in caves, and sometimes attacks travelers on roads and kidnaps women and children. Yeah, the kids also. Don't forget that. Its howls and screams are often heard. The Chorti name for these calls, Mariconet, loosely translate as will get you. Yikes. So sightings, some here, 1898, 1912, 1927. So they all seem to be pretty much a throwback circa 1940s. And look, similar cryptids, the Didi, the Duende, which is the little one, the little people, which is sometimes considered a smaller version of the Sisimite, folks. The Duende. Put that in the notes. The Mapinguari. And here comes a train, all aboard. Get your tickets, pets, your smoke, drinks, and whatever else you need, your luggage. Let's see if we get one here. I'll be silent for a second. Train going by. So, yeah, the Duende, which is sometimes considered a smaller version of the Sisimite. Interesting. and there's different depictions of the duende as well, but we've heard of these smaller, hairy creatures. A lot of times, the duendes, you'll get more of a dwarf, kind of like this. Usually, when I think of duendes, I think of the dwarf. Like you'll get like this Disney, like the seven dwarves type of visual. Is what I get, like a little man. But then again, yeah, that we've been hearing about these little hairier, smaller. They'll call them little people as well. But they're small, hairy beings, Bigfoot like, Ewok like, not so Wookie, if you know what I mean. Let's see. So notes and references there. And so yeah, very, very interesting encyclopedia. And that's very cool. I really like this. I think I'd be a pretty original. I have no tattoos. Brother Nighthawk, glad you're catching this, brother. Salute. I'm hoping you're finding this interesting. So a lot of brothers out here. I mean, the tattoo culture out here, it's strong worldwide, right? But here in LA, especially because of course the gang culture and the different cultures out here, the biker culture, all different types of cultures have, tattoos, and yeah, I have none. Damn it. Oh man. I think, yeah. Yeah, I heard of the melon heads. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, several people, several friends of ours have covered that. The melon heads, and that's a trippy one there. Um, which is a whole other topic. But with the small hairy creatures, we have brought up. I mentioned we covered. So since we're in Central America, down in South America, when we did the reports out of Venezuela, we read some reports also from the Bigfoot mapping project. They got yellow dots all over the world, older historical reports. And then we brought up the Mapinguari, which is also right here. They mentioned it here, right down here. There's a link to that, and we covered some articles pertaining to the Mapinguari, and that would be found in parts of Venezuela, but also especially in the southern parts, more closer to the Amazon, is what I've been learning. But also on the Brazilian side of things, Brazil tem também, tem pé grande, Bigfoot. Yeah, I got to practice my Portuguese any chance I get. Um, and here the mono grande, and I talked about here in California. Here in Spanish, mono means it's another word for monkey. But here in California, we have a Mono County, and there's a famous Bigfoot video, well known Bigfoot video from Mono County. You could just look it up. We brought this up, did a show on this also, and I was like, yeah, well, and then there's Mono Lake in Mono County. So I'm thinking, yeah, Monkey Lake, Monkey County, hello, like, so yeah, it really made me think about that Bigfoot footage, and it really makes me question that county and how it got its name and why and what. So anyway, just some interesting stuff there while we're here in Central and South America. But yeah, I was gonna go back to that'd be a rad tattoo there. This Olmec carving. Don't take my ideas, anybody out there. Let me be the first one to get the tat. Yeah, I think if I were to get anything, I'd probably be Squatch related. And then I'd be in trouble with the Lord, be like, yep, got demons tattooed on you, boy. Damn. Uh-uh. All right, let's jump in the chat here. What's up, Firewater? Finally, you're hanging out. I see you be surfing the Instagram waves. I be checking out a lot of cool videos, and I see you like them or repost them and stuff. I'm like, go Firewater, get it. Yes, the Pukwudgie, of course. Nighthawk. Here, let's jump over to the stream so I could put some of these comments up. Boom. Give me a minute so people could check this out later. Yeah, William Nighthawk, Hillbilly Herb saluting them, and William mentioned, let's see, the Pukwudgie right here, which is another small, hairy. So, yeah, Venezuela, the connection there was to, there was the Caracas, there was a UFO sighting, and these small, hairy beings that came out of there too. And that was a year before the Hopkinsville Goblins incident in, it's Hopkinsville, Kentucky, right? And I believe Jessica Jones brought that up because rest in peace, brother Mark Cryptidville had some sort of, I don't know if he did some military work in Hopkinsville, but she mentioned some sort of Hopkinsville connection there. So here we are connecting all these things back together again. You know, everything's connected. And we like to make those connections when possible. Yeah, so interesting stuff. But yeah, man, I would get this guy tatted. That'd be a cool one there. All right. So another little more information on the Sisimite there, and pronounced so many different ways. So don't forget, maybe you may be talking to someone about this in the future and they may be pronouncing it differently and you may be talking about the same thing. Now, about the toes being, you know, the thumb missing and all that, that is pretty weird. But again, we get these descriptions sometimes of these weird, if you want to call them, maybe they're not deformations, but just the way those are built. Really quick, well, I remember I did mention El Cucuy, which is like the boogeyman, the booger man, the wood booger. And here's a little information on that on this Brave search. It says El Cucuy is a prominent figure in Mexican folklore, serving as the country's version of the boogeyman. He is typically, and it's funny how they, you know, a lot of these things, a lot of the times it'll be like a he and like one specific one. But we've learned that maybe it's not just one of these things, and maybe they're not all he. But he is typically described as a small, hairy, misshapen creature with glowing red eyes. And we've heard that description before. And even on these small, hairy creatures, it goes back to also, we had brought up the whole Dr. Matthew Johnson. We did a stream on him not too long ago, also bringing that up. And who else? Stacy Brown again during his live stream yesterday had brought up that Dr. Matthew Johnson. He was supposed to head out actually to his property, and it was who was it? There was someone well known with him there, Adam Davies, who also is featured in the new Sasquatch America movie, which I know Barry brought up today in Jessica's stream because there's talks of portals. I still have not seen that documentary, and you know I'm a big fan of Dave's work, although I question it, I critique it as we all should, you know, and but I follow his work. And I know there's people, I always got to put up my politest disclaimer in case someone's new and listening, get me in trouble. But yeah, no, it's interesting. So the glowing red eyes, like, and it says large bat-like ears and razor sharp teeth. According to the legend, El Cucuy lives in the mountains or hides in dark places like closets, under beds, waiting to abduct children who misbehave. There you go. Once again, bad kids talk back to the, so children who misbehave talk back to the parents or stay up past bedtime. Parents often use the threat of El Cucuy to encourage obedience and good behavior. That's right. The origins of El Cucuy trace back to Spanish and Portuguese folklore, where the figure known as Coco or Cuco was used to scare children into compliance over time. This legend evolved in Mexico, blending with indigenous beliefs and becoming deeply embedded in Latin American culture. The name Cucuy may derive from the Spanish word coco, meaning coconut, possibly referencing his round, hairy head. Very interesting there. El Cucuy is not just a monster, he is a cultural tool used across generations to teach discipline and caution. While some versions depict him as a goblin like creature, others describe him as a faceless shadow or a shapeshifter that blends into darkness. Mhm. Modern retellings, we got the neighbor's dog popping off. It's all good. Here we go. Modern retellings, especially on platforms like TikTok and Reddit, have revived the legend, often portraying him as a supernatural entity tied to fear, sleep paralysis, and urban myths. Almost like shadow beings or something, right? Despite being a children's tale, belief in El Cucuy persists in many Mexican and Hispanic households, where the phrase El Cucuy te va a buscar, meaning El Cucuy will get you or is going to find you or is looking for you, remains a common bedtime warning. Yep, that's right. Some of you may be very familiar with this.
El Cucuy.
Damn. All right, trash. Today was trash day out there. Don't get me started on that. And so you might hear some trash cans rolling back in. And let's see what else we did find. I'm like we did find, but before that, there is a little video clip that I did find online. And earlier, they mentioned the Mexican El Bigfoot Mexicano. I think the title of the YouTube video might be that. We'll have a look. But before that, I did also search on different databases just to see what we could find. And of course, on Bigfoot reports data or reports database, there was a few things that did pull up. So I will read just some titles off here. So I just punched in Mexico just to see what pops up here. Bigfoot related. And it says, witness observes large creature mimicking monkey movements while herding cattle in central Mexico. And this one here is titled Sighting of Sasquatch by Farmer in Campeche, Mexico. And I don't know if that was one of the ones they mentioned earlier. There was a list of different areas of Mexico. I think it might have been in the first stream, or I don't know if I read it in the beginning of this one. But I think Campeche might have been one of those. I don't know why that's ringing a bell there. And for this one, it says on an undisclosed date in the 1970s, a local farmer was working on his cornfield located a few miles from the town of Beach, Campeche, Mexico, when he experienced a significant encounter with a creature resembling a Sasquatch. Witness encounter with a large canine like creature in Puebla, Mexico. Whoa, that sounds like a dog man. Itching my elbow here on my chair. It's- Made a funny little sound there. It's an elbow fart. Right here, giant figure observed behind residential building in Mexico. What the hell? This is 2023. And I'll be diving deeper into these reports. I'm just reading off these just two more here. Giant figure causes alarm among locals in Mexico. And witness reports large man like creature peeking from cave in Mexico. There's a video also. I wonder if this one, yeah, like it mentions about a TikTok video. So I did remix that video. I think I did it on YouTube as well, but I'm sure I probably did a version on TikTok. There's some Mexican reports, AI powered research engine. Yep. Bigfoot report database there. And yeah, before I forget, let's get into this video here. So this is one second. Let's pop that open like that. Oh, actually, let's read the YouTube. So Mexican or Mexico Bigfoot, El Squacho. There we go. El Squacho. I like that. Um, so who knows? I'm pretty familiar with a lot of Bigfoot, older Bigfoot videos. A lot of them uh you know, get put back into circulation, retitled and different locations. So you got to be very careful. And I try to do my best to learn them and learn the actual sources. And so there's one like this, and I don't think it could be the same one, but there's another video very similar to this where it's just kind of in a field and I think some people had debunked it, so it's possible it's that one, but this one is you see the title there and yeah, let me see. I'm trying to read if anything else pops up here as far as information. All right, so this is mentioning the areas we're just getting into right now. So Mexico has several legendary creatures often described as Bigfoot equivalent, with the most prominent being is the Sisimite or Sisimate. How do we pronounce it, folks? The Sisimite is a bipedal ape-like creature with a human-like face, dark brown or black fur, and is said to be larger than average human. It is described as having four fingers on each hand, no thumb, and in some accounts, backward-facing feet. The creature is believed to inhabit the dense jungles of southern Mexico, particularly in the states of Campeche, Chiapas, Quintana Roo, and its range extends into Central America, including Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, Nicaragua. It is sometimes referred to as the Olmec ape due to a figurine found in Campeche that dates back 2,000 years and its name may originate from the Nahuatl word tzitzimil, meaning supernatural creature or demon. So we had read that earlier too. So here's this video, and 720 is the best quality. Let's open this up and let's see if there's any audio. If there's like music and stuff, then we'll turn it down. Here we go. Yeah, no audio there. And yeah, let us know what you think of this creature. Sounds like a few Guatemalan guys that I were Jeff. Ay, ay, ay. What's up, brother Jeff? Glad you I don't know when you popped in, but glad you're here. Yeah, look at this. Seen a similar video, but I don't think it's it. It could be just maybe an actual ape in a field, someone in a costume. Oh gosh. There goes That was Pat, not Patty. All right. There's that. The Sisimite, Sisimite, Sisimite. What do y'all think? I thought it was pretty interesting. I learned something. So four fingers, no thumb, sometimes has backwards feet, likes to steal women and children, will eat men if need be, but will be vegetarian depending where he's at. I mean, it sounds pretty squatchy to me. I mean, a lot of boxes checked off for Bigfoot in my book. How about yours? Yeah, drop a comment. Let us know. I'm curious. Firewater says absolutely. About what? I don't know. What you talk about, Firewater? One of the superpowers of an empath, says Hillbilly Herb. And it's probably dangerous to start going through the comments from the bottom up. Should probably start from the top to the bottom. Ridshot says chupacabra. Was that when we were mentioning the sharp teeth, the bat-like ears? And you know, it could be people describe the Gugway, what is the other one? The Janasqua, the different types of Bigfoots, right? So supposedly the Gugway's one where it's like they call it the face eater. And it's more like, yeah, it's got crazy teeth, sharp teeth, possibly, and it just sounds very demonic. But what if it's just Bigfoot, a normal Bigfoot that's pissed off? You ever see people pissed off? And look, what's that one serial killer, that lady, I forget her name. There's those videos of her, and man, you want to talk about shape shifting on camera. That's it there. You know, people talk about the reptilian shape. That's a good example there. Y'all seen that footage? Yeah. She's so which ones are the man eaters? Are the males eating the men or the women eating the men? And then it mentioned what else did it say? Oh, they'll steal the women too to keep for themselves. So watch out, man. Don't make sure you're keeping your queens lined up, or else Sismite is gonna come through and run game on you. Yeah, much love to you as well, man. What's up, brother? Yeah, I've responded to your message. So what's up? We're gonna be doing this Saturday. You know, I did drop a link for anyone that wanted to hop on. Anyone want to jump on here right now, chop it up? You're more than welcome to. We're gonna drop a link again. And I think I got through most of the Sisimite, Sisimite stuff. But I could pull up, you know, Jeff, we've been checking out your map, brother, that you shared with us. And there's been some pretty cool reports that we've read out of there. We could probably maybe read another couple tonight. I don't want to hold y'all up too late, but we're about an hour and 20 minutes in. We could hang out maybe another 20 minutes or so. Why not? And if you gotta go, then you gotta go. No sweat. We're not holding hostages here. Said it was a safe chat earlier. Yeah, 420 friendly, light them up. We'll start kicking butt again. Yeah, bro. Yeah, let's do it. Gotta up on my TV while I edit. Got you up on my TV. Oh, well, that's what's up. I'm over here having trouble reading. Like, dude, I'm thinking of taking another little Toki poo or something. That would be fun. There's a report from Long Beach on it here. Of what, bro? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. See. the I mentioned a couple of chases earlier today that didn't get broadcasted, and I was checking. I'm still checking right now, and it's quite active. Quite active. And like police, yeah, something happened in Pasadena. I don't know if you got news of that, Jeff. I won't be till September. Right on, bro. That's good. Detox is good, bro. I need to, maybe pump the brakes a little bit. Even though I've been doing my detox in the morning, make sure and my fasting, but I still light up the ganj. So that's the best thing to do would be to completely stop everything and you know really detox. But for now, we're just tapering, tapering, tapering. And so we're watching it. But I'm watching my intake of certain foods, man, what I'm drinking as well. And yeah, just really taking care of the body, bro. We gotta take care of ourselves because no one else is. Some of you got it good. Maybe you got your queen watches after you and everything. I miss it. But yeah, no, man, we gotta, take care of the mind, body, and soul. So yeah, do what you gotta do. But yeah, make sure you what up, Donnie Cho? That's the devil's lettuce talking, he says. Hey, cheers to you, Donnie. Hope you're doing well, bro. And it's always exciting. Now I feel the pressure, and now I gotta perform. Donnie Cho's here. What else I got? Damn, Donnie Cho, I think you may have missed it. You missed the part of the kidnapping of women and children by these creatures, man. But I'm sure you're well versed in some of the Bigfoot activity. But apparently, they're doing it in South and Central America also. So you got to be careful. And he'll steal your girlfriend if need be, bro. So interesting. He didn't say, and Bigfoot keeping it straight. Keeping it straight up. He ain't playing no funny games. He's after the women. He'll take the kids too. And that's maybe because maybe you ain't doing your fatherly duties or something, like, dude, let me let me take these kids and your girl. Oh man, that's scary. See, Hillbilly Herb says, I'm fully committed to manually regulating my endocannabinoid system. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, Hillbilly, since you're on Instagram, do you follow, what is it, Jacobs? I forget his name, but I'll have to send you some of his stuff, and I'm sure you're following him. And yeah, we have those that cannabinoid system for a reason. Women need to learn to be less kidnappable. Yeah, man, you got to be aware. Stop the jogging alone. Stop the jogging with the headphones on. Let's be aware of our surroundings, and yeah, just don't do those things. I think it's highly or jogging early in the AM hours. It's just dangerous. Oh man, and even here locally, I mean, you could go to some of these parks, Griffith Park, dangerous. Dangerous, dangerous. The world has changed, folks. And let's see, here we go. Damn it. Said I was going to post a link. Yeah, we can hang out for a little bit. If anyone wants to jump on, we could chop it up. But yeah, no, I think we got through most of I did want to pull up so we mentioned the volcano Popocatepec. Check this out. We've pulled it up before because it's a UFO hotspot. But now that we learned that there's these Bigfoot like creatures around there, I wanted to take a look at it again. And earlier, the stream had either crashed, they were having trouble, it was lagging. And let's have a look. Maybe some of you might remember. Yes, this is it. That is Popocatépetl there. And if you could see, so the stream, I don't know what happened, but I tried refreshing the page and everything, but it's kind of stuck here to watch. Let's forward this. There we go. Now we got some smoke, and it looks like I don't know if that's debris coming out, but you can see these little things. It almost looks like freaking stars or meteors are falling. But that is the volcano there. And Muschetti says, I'm a kung fu enthusiast. Ah. Yeah, no, I love all sorts of martial arts. And we're gonna hand Muschetti. What up, Diesel? Why didn't you? What happened, bro? I thought you were. I thought you been moderator. Something happened. YouTube maybe pulling maybe they took your wrench away when they started giving out these shields. And Muschetti, we're gonna hand him a shield as well. Yeah, that's weird. See, Diesel, you're repost your link, brother, because look, it's look, it looks null, looks void. Doesn't have the blue link to it, so you should have it now. And Russell there hitting everybody with the emojis. Perfect. Muschetti can throw machetes. And the machete. I heard Brian Bowden earlier talk about he can't carry in New York, but he carries a machete. And just yeah, the machete makes me think of course, Mexico. Very fond of their machetes out there. Central America, Salvadorians, Central Americans. Yeah, I love their machetes. The Jamaicans. Yeah, man. Me, I love me machete, you know. Machetes are too heavy. Katanas are better. Whoa, yeah, that would be rad. And I hear for cryptids, you know, if you're out there dealing with like dogman and stuff like that, of course you want to have your blicker, have a blicker on you. But I hear having a sword, maybe a katana or something like that. Yeah, I might have to swing that around. So yeah, I'd love to have that. It's a good weapon. Much love, much love. Yeah. I need a new Damascus. So yeah, I don't know what happened to the stream. Watch. Maybe there's just a high strangeness going on with the volcano that has the stream stuck. Anyway, you could check this out. This is a far TV. You could always just look up Popocatépetl. I'm sure you could spell that out pretty easily. And check out the live stream, and you could check for UFOs here. Look at that. David Politis just posted something on X. And anyway, so we're pulling this up because we did talk about it earlier. This is a volcano that I guess has some historical Bigfoot activity. And what is the connection between Bigfoots, volcanoes? And interesting that there's also UFO activity here. Something that comes to mind. You could dual nunchuck. What? Right on. And you make ninja spikes, right? Bro, that's what I'll talk about. What's up, my ninja? Yeah, there's several of we got several people out here that make stuff like that. Actually, I never received a couple of people are supposed to send me some knives. No pressure, no rush. You know who you are. You know where I'm at. And I want to thank earlier we had several there was some super chats, super stickers. There's a couple people that joined the portal. I want to say yep. Thank you again. And yeah, congratulations to all the new moderators. We're trusting y'all. And yeah, no, thank you all for making this possible. Y'all make this happen. And let's see here. Yeah, hopefully we get some new reports rolling in. We could check. I could check right quick. I'll check the Bigfoot mapping project before we head out. Oh, maybe I could share a little video of me actually being out in the field. Me and some of the homies. Yeah, I miss it. I need to get back out there, do some camping or something. But in time, everything in time. We're taking care of business. We're making things happen. We're doing what we got to do. And yeah, let's check a little something out here. Little throwback. What do we have? Oh, there we go. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Let's do this. Boom. All right, here we go. We have volume. Hopefully, we heads up. This is unedited. I got to be careful. And this is a special area again of Bluff Creek. And RIP Bandit. There's Bandit there. Our Poochie friend. That's Ron's old dog. I think Bandit passed away last year, the year before that. And he was a trooper, went to many places squatching. Ron's Bigfoot dog there. But there's Jonathan Easley, Western Bigfoot Explorations, Ron Reed from Trailing the Giants behind me. You got Stevie. I don't think Stevie has like a Bigfoot channel or anything like that. But these guys you could find on YouTube. Awesome channels. And keep an eye out for Sasquatch. This is total Bigfoot country here. You never know what might be peeking through the bush or up on a tree. And we're going uphill here, so it's quite a bit of a workout, which is always needed. And just breathing some good fresh air away from the city.
Straight up. Yep.
And it just gives you a view of what it looks like around certain areas of Bluff Creek. Maybe someone in the chat could pull up Western Bigfoot Explorations on YouTube, share a link, and Trailing the Giants on YouTube. Let's see if our moderators could pull that off. I haven't seen Blazer tonight.
We heard that one before.
Where are the big feet?
Check this rock out. So we're gonna go down, or we're gonna keep going up eventually? Oh yeah. All right. I noticed a few water sources around here, down below. Sounded like something scurrying back there. Got a bandit behind me.
Awesome. Muschetti, appreciate that, brother. Came in with the hot link for Ron Reed, Trailing the Giants. And the hell was that sound? Sound like a truck coming by, but there's no vehicles in that area. Maybe a plane or something. Huh. Anyway, yeah, that was a hell of a hike. And that area, this area up here, there's a couple of ponds, and one of them is where Inker and Survivor Man stayed. Time they did that episode, Willow Creek episode, Survivor Man Bigfoot. But I don't think we actually found one of the ponds, but I don't think it was the actual one that that they were at. Very nearby. Anyways, such a amazing area. Supposedly there's little people back in that area. Different legends from different Native American groups from there, the Hoopa, the Yuroks, and just love being out there for sure. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this one up. I think we got into the Sisimite pretty good tonight. We did two streams, so be sure to check out the first one. And I don't think anyone jumped in the studio. I'll double check. It's all good, no pressure. Let's see. The weirdest thing that happened, let's read this. The weirdest thing that happened to me was I got those smiley potato that are frozen after I cooked them. They had evil faces. It's like their eyes were squished or yeah, squished and looked evil with creepy grins. Were you trip it on anything? Sounds like maybe like a mushroom or acid trip or something, a bad one. Good evening. Hope not too late. Oh, Lori lad. Yeah, we've been rocking for like an hour and 40 minutes already. Kind of getting ready to say our goodbyes. We had a little fun tonight. I would recommend rewinding and checking it out if you like. Yeah, nah, don't trip. You don't have to do that. I know it's best when you catch them live, and well, I think I like catching people live. Sometimes I'll catch the replay of stuff. It's got to be pretty good, but I try to stay on top of what's freaky fresh, freaky. Actually, I do have. Let's see. I do have some music set up. All right, y'all. So yeah, Lori. Yeah, bummer. You just came in. Maybe you're having fun somewhere else. I know there's a bunch of other shows on right now. Well, there's one for sure that everyone goes to every night, but it's all good. Yeah, no worries, Lori. You don't gotta go back and watch. But yeah, no, if you want to learn more about the Bigfoot in Mexico and Central America or Bigfoot-like creatures, please do, because we learned quite a bit tonight. I sure did. And hopefully you did too. And hopefully you will also if you're watching this later. Again, I want to appreciate everybody for spending some time and energy and some good vibes with us here. Yeah, we appreciate the love. Yeah, so I got.
Yeah, 1 2 1 2.
Oh yeah. Just try and get comfortable here. let's try another track. This is if you could read there, it's some DJ Qbert, some breaks, and right now we actually have the
Tartaria breaks.
Tartaria breaks. Let's cue something else up. Uh-oh. Officer shot, suspect dead on the metro train. So much has been happening on the freaking metros the past few years since I've been out here. It's nuts. I don't even ride that thing anymore. And yeah, Pasadena killed the suspect earlier. Gonna find out what happened there. That's just right up the way here, not far at all. So pew pew, deadly night here in Los Angeles. All right, where's our music at? And I also wanted to do a sound check because I've been learning something about, like, I guess the sound quality getting compressed and stuff like that. And I did notice that the quality of the sound of the music sometimes seems like something's missing. It's not so robust like I hear it here in the headphones when I hear it later. So just a quick
Sound check. Mic check 1 2.
All right, y'all. We're gonna head out for tonight. Y'all stay blessed. We're gonna check out the quality of the sound of this later. Hopefully get my mixer fixed back at the shop as well. Yeah.
To the beat, y'all. Rock, y'all, and we don't stop.